Today we will be looking at the physics in The Day After Tomorrow and whether it makes sense or not. This is our first scene, where you can see several tornadoes destroying the city. So we're going to take a closer look and see if the amount of destruction caused by these tornadoes actually makes sense for the given situation.
We assume the tornado was about an F5 rated tornado, which would give it a velocity of 322 kilometers per hour. And by assuming the tornado has a cylinder, the average height and width for a tornado are both 4,000 meters. We took these values and plugged it into the equation to get the kinetic energy, which was found to be about 2.605 times 10 to the 21st joules. Furthermore, we calculated the angular momentum using L equals IW, which also equals mvr, and plugging in the values we found earlier, we get 3.237 times 10 to the 19th kilogram meter squared per second. To put these numbers in perspective, the smallest nuclear reactor in the United States would take 50 million days to produce that many watts of energy. While these numbers are quite large and may be a bit of a reach, they are still feasible, meaning the physics in the scene are still somewhat accurate.
We can see the use of more physics in this movie in this scene where massive hail rains down on this city. Using mechanics, we wanted to find out whether the hail hitting the policeman would actually be enough force to kill him, or whether it just actually knocked him out. So it takes about 2,300 newtons of force to crush a man's skull, at which point we could assume that the policeman would be dead. The mass of hail is 4.2 kilograms and the mass of the man is 58 kilograms. Using the conservation of momentum, we found the velocity of the hail and the man to be 6.77 meters per second after the collision. To find out how much force was delivered to the policeman's head over the amount of time it took for the hail to hit the policeman's head, we used impulse, which is force times the change in time or mass times the change in velocity. By dividing mass times change in velocity by the change in time, which the time we found to be about 0.09 seconds, the force was found to be 4,700 newtons, which is well above over the amount needed to crush the man's skull. We can assume that he is now dead. To help visualize this collision, here's a free body diagram of before the collision and after the collision of the man and the hail.
Of course, some other aspects of physics were shown throughout the movie, such as the breaking of the glass due to the stress caused by a combination of instantly colder temperatures and the glass's low thermal conductivity. However, some aspects are inaccurate, like how the clockwise hurricanes pictured contradicts the Coriolis force, an inertial force which dictates that northern hemisphere hurricanes rotate counterclockwise. Another mistake is shown when a scientist claims that the descending cell of cold storm air will freeze everything when it hits the Earth, because the pressure causes it to be sucked towards the Earth. This contradicts the ideal gas laws, as descending air actually warms adiabatically due to compression.
Overall, the movie displays a large majority of scenes as physically accurate, and despite some minor issues with details and concepts behind the movie, the scientific discrepancies behind the movie reside in earth science and environmental science rather than physics. So we would like to rank the movie The Day After Tomorrow as PGP, or Pretty Good Physics.